Baby, you don't wanna live for. Mommy's by your side till the end and through whatever. Yeah, this is our journey together. You're special cause you're different. Never let them tell you different. Yeah, you can rely on my love for forever. You and I against the world, against the world, yeah, against the whole world.
I think vaccinations have played an important role in autism or in your child. I know this is a really
hot topic. It's hot. Mucho caliente.
At first, I'm going to say yes. I thought that the vaccines played a role. My oldest son is vaccinated, and my other, so I have 4 kids. My other 3 are not. But the one that has no vaccines also has autism, so now I'm in the middle because I don't know which way to go. But I have nothing against vaccines. I'm vaccinated myself. I think it's to each their own with what they decide to do.
We're not vaccinated up to date.
But, oh, you guys are not?
No, we're not vaccinated.
No.
We don't have all the vaccines that the kids have now.
No, I don't even know. I think the last one I got when I was pregnant with the whooping cough. That was the last one I got.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, as my kids get older, if they choose to vaccinate themselves, by all means, they're more than welcome to do it. I did my part because they were little, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's I think it's all plays a genetic role, environmental role, just your autoimmune system as a whole. Every child, they say when you meet one with autism, you've only met one with autism, so everybody has a different story as to where they think their child got it from. Some say they were born with it, so I don't know. I'm on both. A little bit on one side.
Yeah.
The other, so.
I don't know if vaccines affected my son. I mean, he stopped looking at you and stopped smiling when you told him to smile at the camera when he got his MMR vaccine. So and you could look at all my pictures from before, you tell him to look at you, he would look at you, he'd be smiling at you. After that, it takes like, Riley, look here, look here. So, and then my second child, he hasn't even had the MMR yet. So I'm actually going to give it to him this summer. So he's going to get the first one and he's going to be 7. So he's older now. But now I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to do it because he has to get vision therapy now. So I'm seeing a little bit of delays in him. So I would just want to be more careful. Could it have affected him? I don't know. Could it have been the prenatal vitamins? I don't know. I mean, could it be family history? I don't know. We don't know.
Jessica?
So my sweet and short answer is no. I do not believe that vaccine caused my kid to have autism. I'm sorry, it's not a joke, but let me just clarify why I think this, because I believe that everyone can believe whatever they want to believe. I'm open-minded, but until there's actually concrete research and legit, then I'll believe it. Because one day if they tell me, yeah, his vaccine caused it, okay, I believe you. But for now, no. But so that too, I kind of have more to, just like you, we kind of have more experience. Yeah. So with my oldest, he did regress. My oldest regressed. He was developing fine until around the time where they get that famous MMR shot. But with autism, you start seeing the symptoms and they start getting diagnosed at the exact same time as they get the MMR shot. So it just happens to be at the exact same time. So that's why I would think, oh, they got delayed at the same time. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, they got shot. But with my oldest, I knew, like you said, a lot of parents think they're born with it. With my first, I've always thought, I can't say known, but always thought there was something off about him. I always have. But because he was also born with a hearing loss, everyone around me just contributed his hearing loss to this behavior and everything. But I've always believed, he was autistic. So then just at that time, when it was diagnosed, we finally got the right answer. So with my youngest, my 4-year-old right now, we just kept the lookout, and he was developing fine and everything as well. He got his MMR shot as well, and he still kept developing, and I thought we were in the clear. It's like he's developing fine, he's speaking more, he wasn't like our first son. But then he got his diagnosis of autism. So it's just, I don't know what contributes to it, but I think it's not shots.
Okay. Now, do you guys want more babies?
Well, I already have 4, so no. And for my boys, my oldest and my 3rd have autism, and my 2nd and my 4th do not. So it seems to be skipping. So no, I don't want to have a 5th. I'm good with the 4.
Yeah.
I have 2 boys and I'm good.
Have you always just wanted 2?
Yes, I've always wanted 2 boys.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, nice.
And a girl dog.
And a girl dog.
I don't even want to have a dog, she knows.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, she'll look pets.
I do want more. I wish I could have more. I want like 6 kids. I've always wanted 6 kids, 7 kids, 8 kids. I'm not gonna lie, autism makes it very difficult, and it's not of the fear of my kids having autism, because I'm not in fear of that at all. If I get pregnant and they have autism, okay, fine. God wanted me to have a kid with autism, but it's just the time and the effort, and I would feel very selfish because autism takes a lot of work. So my other kids, my youngest daughter, she's 3, and I feel she gets left out a lot because of my other boys that have autism. So even if we're out, there's a lot of things we can't do because the boys can't do it, but she's typical and she can, but she still can't do it because the boys. So I feel it will be very selfish of me and my husband to have another child, and if they are typical, then there's just not enough time and energy in me actually to just do it all. And I even thought maybe when my oldest is older, he'll, be more high functioning, but it's not like that. So I don't know what, it's just day by day. Things change every day. So right now, I'm looking as no, but I wish I could. But we'll see. I don't know what the future holds because married therapies, maybe it's a miracle. He'll start speaking and it's wonderful. But for now, no.
Yeah, it's definitely hard with siblings. Yeah. Okay, so what is the hardest thing about having a child with autism?
The finances plays a major role.
It's very expensive.
Time is your enemy. The therapies, in-home therapies, the chauffeuring around. You know what the hardest thing is? Lack of services. Lack of services within your area and the acceptance from other children. I mean, there's awareness now as the numbers are increasing, but there's not a lot of acceptance, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
For at least for the not the 3-year-old, but for at least for my 10-year-old, I think he's weird, he's not he's socially awkward. So that's the hardest thing, is watching him live through it, knowing the challenges that he faces. He doesn't see them all as bad yet, but I can kind of foresee the bullying, he's gullible, he's very literal, so he's just an easy target. So that's the hardest part for me, to watch him go through it.
I think the hardest part of autism right now for us is the school district and IEPs and getting people to stop lying and actually do their job. That's the hard part. Is we fight for LRE, least restrictive environment for our children, to be in gen ed. But then once they're in there, you have these teachers that don't want to accommodate the child, even though it's legally binded in an IEP. So always being on top of it wears and tears on a parent's body and mind.
Yeah.
So, how like he said, kind of, it's the hardest thing would be advocating. Like, I would think that's just the hardest because it takes so much from parents. It's just like, it's always a fight. Or as a typical child, there's not much to fight about. They go to school and they come back and that's it. But I would say for autism, you're always an advocate, you're always fighting, I wish it would come easy, but it's not. It's always going to be a fight. That's the hardest part.
Yeah. We're always going to be fighting for them, and so that's pretty much what the questions I've been asked. So I wanted to ask you guys. That's why I didn't answer none of them. If you guys want to see it, it's on my other videos. Do you guys have any questions for each other? Because I know our children are totally, completely different, and the age is very different. Because mine's 4-year-old, and then your guys' children are mostly older, and then she has a 6-year-old, and then a 4-year-old too. So it's like a different gap,
Yeah.
Any questions?
You guys, I forgot my question. What was it? No, seriously.
What age was it you?
What do you tell them about autism?
Oh yeah, I literally forgot my question. Yeah, I do have a question for the moms with the older kids. At what age did you, or if you've told them yet, when did you tell your kids that they have autism, or what autism is? Or no, yeah, that they have autism.
Well, I don't think my son is that high functioning to understand the meaning yet. He knows we went to an autism function today. Does he really know that means he has a disability and that really pertains to him? No, he doesn't. So I don't sit there and explain it to him because I don't think he's fully cognitive to understand that yet. And so I'm just not ready to do that. I'm trying to teach my younger son, and that's still a work in progress. So, but my older son doesn't really know.
Do you at least let him know, he's different, or do you say
No.
nothing? No.
No, because I don't want him to think that he's weird. So if I say different, how's he going to really think about it? I'm different. What does that mean? I don't know. So I haven't gotten to that point yet because I don't think he can functionally understand it.
Probably
how-
emotional.
How do you explain it to your other? You said you had a.
Well, he's only 6, so he doesn't really understand because he fights with my son all the time. He antagonizes him all the time.
Okay.
So he's constantly picking on him. So it ends up being I'm always putting him in timeout. But he doesn't really understand it yet. I think because he's in 1st grade. So I'm thinking in the next year or so, he's going to start to understand that his brother is different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely hard.
So Paxton's 10. I told him when he turned 8, I felt he was cognitively ready as he was asking me, why is he in therapies?
Okay.
Why do people call him weird? Why was he getting pulled out in the classroom and not, because he's in general ed, and not his other classmates? So I kind of explained it to him through videos, like a cartoon video, how everybody's brain is wired differently.
Yeah.
That one really it helped him. He was like, oh, okay. So I told him I didn't explain to him that he was different, but everybody's different. And then there's this category of people that have autism. And he has a really good, tight group of friends with autism. And I told him, your friend Riley has autism, your friend Jezreel, Mason, Brandon, he's got at least 10 different friends. He's like, we all have the same. And I'm like, yeah, you're all the same. You all play together. Your life, it's typical to them. They don't see the difference. But I explained to them the difference from you than your brother is. You guys just need a little bit more help, which is the therapy to kind of comprehend your life skills and comprehend your day-to-day tasks. He accepted it. He actually used it as his advantage. We'll go places and he'll be like, oh, I need that, I have autism.
Yeah.
So I was using the cart. So I'm like, you can't really do that. I said, it's to your advantage. I tried to explain to him. I told him he had an IEP this year. He didn't know what it meant, so I explained to him his IEP, how he has separate goals. He doesn't want to go to the meetings yet, but he realizes, oh, okay, so I have a speech goal, an OT goal.
Okay.
So that was cool to sit with him and show him that. But he's okay with it. He didn't cry or show. He doesn't really show a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. His 8-year-old brother knows he has autism. He just doesn't understand, the tattletaling because he's very literal, right and wrong. There's no gray. So that's the part where they kind of clash on it. They don't, your older brother's not supposed to rat you out. It's supposed to protect you, but Paxton doesn't do that at all. So I think that's kind of where they battle a lot. But Lennox, I feel bad, waiting in the waiting room. He's always the one that was left out.
Yeah.
We can't do sports because we have to do all these autism events. So I was very into the autism events when they were little, but I've kind of geared away from it and do kind of half and half. And sometimes Paxton, it's hard for him, but he's got to learn to manage. Your brother, you both have to be equal. I have to try to balance all 4 of them. Yeah. So at age 8, I felt he was ready to understand. So now when he makes a new friend, he'll ask me, "Does that person have autism?" I'm like, "Yes, no, yeah." So he wants to know. And he'll say, "Oh, that person has autism because they're clapping their hands." I'm like, okay, they might not, you don't know. So I'm trying to tell him you can't judge either. Because you're walking around thinking that everybody does. Right? Yeah. But no, so he knows. It's okay.
So I know that a lot of kids with autism actually have really special gifts. Mine's right now obsessed with different languages, memorizing the states, the countries of the world, the elements, and all this bunch of stuff. So what is something that that your son has that special,
Oh gosh, mine's all into Fortnite right now. His goals are video games. When he was younger, he read early. He loved letters and numbers. He was reading probably, once he started talking, he talked late until 3.5. He read around 3.5, 4. He just was obsessed. Everywhere we went, he spelled out the letters. My 8-year-old doesn't like to read, so that was really it. He never was fixated on one type of item or topic. It's never been like that. Right now, it's just meeting his goals. When his mind is set to do something, he wants to do it. The world stops, and that's all that matters. Even though it's not as important, but it's important to him.
Yes.
So that's pretty much where he's at right now. My 3-year-old, I still don't know. He's just started speaking, so we're still in the beginning stages for him. Trying to get him to socialize and just kind of fit in a little bit. So he doesn't really have any special hidden talents yet.
Yet that you can see.
Yeah.
My son's a doctor. No, my son started, when we first moved to Eastvale, he was 2.5, and we've been reading books to them since they were born, I was. And we have magnetic letters at home, when you're teaching them their alphabets and stuff. And all of a sudden, he put together his name, and he was 2.5. And I was like, wow, so he can read. So he started reading before he was 3. So he's been reading since he was 3. His struggles are more the comprehension piece. He can read no tomorrow, but can he comprehend it? No, that's the struggle with autism. He can tell you all the countries in the world. He loves Google Maps. He'll sit there and find wherever we're going to go. So those are things that he loves doing.
That's awesome. Cool.
I love how we have that in common. My 4-year-old right now, he's been reading, I guess, for a year now, and I had no idea, but he would just start spelling everything and reading everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is so smart. So there's that, or he can just remember anything he heard a week ago. He'll just say it word for word. Where did you remember that? So there's that.
But then tell them to put together a sentence for a paragraph. And that's pulling
Exactly.
teeth.
Oh, yeah. So I'm assuming this is where they were, and then later on it's like, okay. But yeah, but he does that. My oldest, there's nothing that sticks out, but my youngest, at least there is.
50-50.
Well, we gotta get something.
Anything else you guys want to share?
No,
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Until next time, be sure to like.
Share.
And subscribe.
This is our
I do. Wait, take 2.
This is our journey, yeah. This our journey.